Hello, welcome to Luke Trades trading channel where I am trying to figure out whether I can turn trading into full-time income. I'm trading from Australia and I'm trading US market, so that means late nights for me. I'm starting around 4 a.m. pre-market and then sitting till around 8-9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, depends if the market is hot or cold. And today market was definitely hot. There was a lot of opportunities and I took most of them. I actually traded 4 times. I traded 4 different stocks today, so that's a lot. I haven't been trading that much in a while because the market was cold for the last month. So how did it go? I got all the trades recorded, so I'll show you. It's supposed to go really well, but I have found a problem in my strategy and it is all about exits. So I'm working now on the proper exit strategy, a system that is going to allow me to capture as much as I can, but at the same time don't lose. Don't lose once I have the profit locked in. This time I made the same mistake yesterday. When I was in profit, I captured a really big move, but I exited prematurely because I panicked, because I thought, oh, I'm in green, I should exit, but I didn't pay too much attention to structure. And I did similar thing today. The trades I've taken had potential to go very far up. It could have been a couple $100 day, but instead it's just a $2 day. So that's because I didn't capture those moves properly. Let me start from the beginning. The first stock I've traded was at 421 and it's called UBI, and I've entered the full position, 175 shares, thinking that this is the continuation from the day before. Well, we have a lower price stock, 185. It's a little bit below my minimum, which is $2, but yesterday I did the same and the stock soared up. So I thought maybe we're gonna see something similar today, and everything was fine. Volume, the float, everything was within my criteria. Even it even had the news. So I thought to myself, this is probably gonna work. So that trade was basically within my strategy. Even though it was a losing trade, I was risking 12 cents. I lost 14 because of the little slippage, but it's still fine. This loss didn't affect me too much because it was within my strategy. This is the recording of the trade. I am looking for the entry. Let me just skip it a little bit. All right, here I'm holding the shift key and entering here when I saw 185. That was my confirmation price. I saw a couple sales, as you can see here, and a lot of people buying at 185. So to me, this is a good confirmation. I enter myself and I'm waiting. And unfortunately, as soon as that happened, it started slowly going back. And, it just didn't work. It happens. Not every trade is profitable. As long as it's within my strategy, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with a loss like that, especially with this one because it's a really small 12-cent risk. Actually turned into 14, so a little bit worse. But I always wait 1 cent below my exit because I've seen few times when the stock goes right to that point and then reverses. So in this case I just waited to 172, but when I saw, you see, it was kind of going back and forth, and then when I saw 172 I press exit and I got slightly slippage. There you go. I exited and I got a little slippage, so 171. This was my exit. So the first day of the day was a loser, even though I followed every rule, which, was a little bummer, but it didn't frustrate me too much because I knew this is just part of my strategy. Not every trade is a winner. So next I was waiting patiently, and the similar thing happened at 535 with a stock called TPET. Also very similar price, except the price, everything else looked really well. Float, volume, they were breaking news on a stock, so I could enter with a little less this time. I could afford 160 shares, so that's what I did. This was my first mistake of the day because I exited it too early. I decided, and this is also something I need to change, I decided to split my exit into 3, and that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that because every time I'm exiting it charges me extra commissions. So smarter way is to just split it in 2, I think. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. But just to show you, as soon as I got that 10 cents, I wanted 10 cents up and just exited because my risk here was around 10 cents. So I just wanted 10 cents as a partial exit. It got me 12 cents, which is great. And then I waited a little bit and a little bit more to exit with the rest. So overall, it was a decent trade, but the stock went up around 40 cents. So I could have waited a little bit more. And I will show you the recording. This is the stock I am about to enter. So let me just speed this up a little bit. It's going 180. There you go. As soon as I saw 182, and I saw some, let me just pause it. There you go. So I saw 182, one buyer, 1,400 shares, second buyer. So I decided, all right, I'm entering. That's what I entered. 182, no slippage, 160 shares. And now we're waiting patiently. It very quickly squeezed up, so that was, good timing. And then, small pullback, another squeeze, small. It's kind of stuck for 3 minutes there. And here I started to be a little bit worried because, this is not exactly what you want to see. You want to see a continuation, but, you gotta wait. This is just a probability game right now. So I'm waiting, and it's squeezed all the way up, giving that beautiful continuation, and probably shorts were squeezed here. So we got, there you go. I'm trying to exit partially with the price of 188. I'm waiting 189. So I'm waiting for that 190 plus, and here you go. There you go. It went straight to 194. I am ready to exit partially, and I did. I sent 60 shares, and bam, there you go, 194. Unfortunately, I forgot to configure those, so that's why it's 60 shares, because that was a previous configuration. With Webull, there is no option to exit with percentage, or enter, by the way, with percentage of your buying power or position. So you have to every time reconfigure your trades manually before the trade, which is very, very annoying. I can't understand why this is not changed yet, but this is what Webull gives you. So, it's a free software, so you can't complain, but at the same time, every time I'm entering the trade, I need to go to the settings right here and manually configure the number of shares I want to buy and sell, right? So it's very annoying, but that's why that was supposed to be 50 shares. I forgot to change it. So I exit with 60. Nevertheless, 12 cents here. Then I'm waiting. And here I started to slightly panic because I was worried that it's gonna reverse. So around here, this is the first pullback, which is normal. I should have just keep waiting, but I saw that 191, 192, and I thought to myself, should I go or should I not? Now here it pushed up, and I didn't wait for that squeeze, which I should have. I thought to myself, you know what, this might reverse, which was way too early. I was selling to strength. Now I understand it. But then I sold another 60 shares, the same price. So that was kind of pointless, but okay. I just lost commission on here, just to see that as soon as it pushed, you see it squeezed all over to $2.05, which made me decide to exit the whole position right here. And I got filled at 199. Now, this was a bad exit strategy, even though I captured it and I'm happy with it. I captured overall, I think, 13 cents, right? And the risk was 10 cents. So, that's a little bit more than 1.3 R, which is good. But that second exit was way too early. This should be a second exit. And I'll show you that why. You see here, this stock went all the way up to 217 around here, right? So if I just instead of me panic exiting, if I just watch the structure patiently, and my first exit should be here, so that was fine, but my second exit should be around here, or maybe even further, right? Now it starts to reverse, so this is where I should exit the remaining of my positions. This is something I'm still working on, and that's the most difficult part for me right now, to capture as much as possible, and I'm still working on that strategy. But at this stage, this is 2 days in a row where I did exactly the same thing. I panic sold and messed up and didn't capture the whole trade, and just captured tiny moves, which is still good, but the profit could be much bigger. Next, we got a stock called BATL. So because of the first trade took me back, second trade didn't fully gave me my whole loss back, so I'm still working on getting it back. And I saw this stock BATL, which is an energy stock, and here I knew it's a risky trade because there was around $1 risk on BATL, but I could see that it is just pumping up, and I felt this is gonna go high up. So I entered with only 12 shares. That's all I could afford. Very tiny. So even if I lose full $1 here, it's gonna be $12 loss. It's no drama. I can afford it. But the potential to go up was pretty high. Unfortunately, I did the same thing as before. I exited way too early. This thing went all the way up to $30 or 27, 28 at least, very, very quickly. So I just needed to wait there. I'll show you the recording here. Okay, here we go. Here we have a BATL. I already entered. I forgot to press record, so you can see I entered at 7.55 price, average price of 25.77. So I was aiming for 25.70. It obviously, with such a high price stock and such a fast moving stock, it's just there's no way you're gonna enter exactly, but that's okay because it's moving very fast up. So anyway, so I entered, and as you can see, it's pretty quickly, first it's squeezed up, so this is the place of entry, and then it hold there for a little bit. There was the moment when I was like thinking, oops. So my risk was here, 24.60, so slightly above $1. Still, quite far, so a little pullback. And then right after that, squeeze up. And here's what I'm thinking, all right, now we need to sell. And again, I made this mistake of selling half of my shares with such a small positions. It just makes no sense because Webull charges you like $2 for one-time transaction. So in this case, it charged me like $5 to split that order in two, which was silly because I made $7 on that move and I paid $5 in commissions. But now I understand it a little bit better. Anyway, the move went pretty violently up to 26.35. Which, it's a nice move. 25.77 to 26.35. What's that? 35 cents plus 20. That's around 50 cents, right? So I did take half. I thought, all right, at least I get some profit. And then waiting. Now, here again, I did a mistake of being anxious instead of watching the structure, and I decided to exit around here, which was exactly the same price, 26.34. But if there's no indication here to exit, as even actually we can see some strength with a big green candle, and everything looks good. So all I had to do is just wait because this thing just went all the way up to 29. And if I waited, I would actually make quite a bit more. Again, this is something I am working on. So that was BATL, and the last stock of the day was NPT. I already entered, again, didn't start recording before that. Entered around 8.16. It was very fast moving stock. I think my entry was 804. My target was 804. Obviously, big slippage. This thing was moving very fast. A risk was 53 cents. So I don't like to risk more than 50 cents. But with smaller shares, like I could enter with 40. I thought this is fine because I saw a potential in it. Everything was within my criteria. So that was an A quality entry for me. And as soon as I entered, you see it just instantly went up into profit. So that's a great timing. A little pullback, and here we go. And this is where I panic sell. Very quick trade. But if you can see, I saw it going up to 840, and I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna push it. I got back what I lost with the first trade. I should exit. And that was a mistake because if I just speed this up, look what's happening. This thing is going all the way to 9, I think even more. Where did it go now? $9, $10, $11. Look at that. $11. So this thing went up 3.5 almost. I sold it at 26 cents or something like that. This is all me again. This is what I'm working on, how to properly exit. I was happy that I got, obviously, 26 cents is not a bad trade, but if you consider potential of $3, then I need to learn how to hold trades for a little longer and don't panic sell as soon as I get profit, because I'm leaving money on the table. It doesn't make me frustrated because I end the day in a green, even though it's a very small green, but I can see that this is what I'm going to be working on this month. Last month I was working on my entries, and I think so far in the last 2 days of this month, in 5 trades, every trade I took was within my strategy, and I didn't mess up the entry. So seems like I made a little bit of progress right there. Now, and next thing is to work on exiting. I think this is going to be a primary focus on this month. Here is my profit for the month. A second day, $2.92, very small green day. 3 trades out of 4 success, but the one that lost was within my strategy, so I don't consider it a wrong. It's just a calculated loss. It's fine. Yesterday we could have a big green day, over $500 day, but again, because of my panic selling when I just got a little bit of profit, I left a lot of money on the table. So 2 days, 2 lessons. Luckily, I didn't pay for those lessons. Luckily, those lessons were still slightly profitable. So going on forward, I will pay more attention to proper exit strategy, and that's what I'm right now going to focus on. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy. If you'd like to be a part of my journey, please subscribe and like, and I will see you tomorrow.